Science and Tech from the month of September, India's first private space situational awareness observatory. Now, India's first commercial space situational awareness observatory will be set up in Garhwal region of Uttarakhand. It will be set up by Digantra, a Bengaluru based space sector startup. It will be located in Garhwal region of Uttarakhand. Now, the observatory will assist in tracking any activity in space, including that of space debris and military satellites hovering over the region. The observatory will help to monitor events occurring in geostationary, medium Earth orbit, and high Earth orbits. The high quality observations made will be complemented by observations of its partner ground based sensor network. With this data, India will be able to reduce the potential for collision between satellites and other spacecrafts by making more accurate predictions of their location, speed, and trajectory. Now, the observatory will fill crucial gaps in space situational awareness observations in the region, as there is a lack of such facilities between Australia and Southern Africa. It will also give India indigenous capability to monitor space activity over the subcontinent, providing a strategic advantage. Now, space situational awareness refers to knowledge of space environment, including the location and function of space objects and space weather phenomena. Now, space situational awareness is generally understood as covering three main areas, that is, space surveillance and tracking of man made objects, space weather monitoring and forecast, and near Earth objects monitoring, that is, only natural space objects. Moving on to CRISPR technology, in the 10 years since CRISPR technology has been developed, it has begun to deliver on its unlimited potential, which will help in improving the quality of human life. Now, CRISPR in short for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. It is a powerful gene editing technology which replicates natural defense mechanisms in bacteria to fight virus against using a special protein called Cas9. Now, CRISPR Cas9 technology behaves like a cut and paste mechanism on DNA strands that contain genetic information. The specific location of the genetic code that needs to be changed or edited is identified on the DNA strand, and then using the Cas9 protein, which acts like a pair of scissors, that location is cut off from the strand. A DNA strand, when broken, has a natural tendency to repair itself. Scientists intervene during this auto repair process, supplying the desired sequence of genetic code that binds itself with the DNA strand. Now, application of CRISPR technology, it has many potential applications, including correcting genetic defects, treating and preventing the spread of disease, and improving the growth and resilience of crops. Now, for health, several therapeutic interventions using CRISPR for disease like thalassemia or sickle cell anemia has gone into clinical trials in the US. The initial results have been flawless. In India, researchers at the CSIR, Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, have indigenously developed a CRISPR based therapeutic solution for sickle cell anemia, which is now being readied for clinical trials. Now, agriculture, Japan has approved the commercial cultivation of a tomato variety that has been improved using CRISPR based intervention. In India, several research groups are working on CRISPR based enhancement for group various crops, including rice and banana. Now, there are certain ethical concerns. In 2018, a Chinese researcher disclosed that he has altered the genes of a human embryo to prevent the infection of HIV. This was the first documented case of creating a designer baby. This is concerning because the changes made in the embryo. This means that newly acquired traits were likely to be passed on to future generations. Now, CRISPR is not 100% precise and could induce a few errors as well, making changes in other genes. This has a possibility of being inherited by the successive generations. Now, moving on to launch window for spacecraft. The launch of Artemis 1 mission has been delayed multiple times. The spacecraft generally gets a limited launch window due to several factors. Space missions cannot be launched anytime they are ready to go. Very precise time slots are calculated for their launch. There are there are multiple factors. The important two are shortest distance and fuel efficiencies, and also weather. Now, shortest distance, nothing in space is stationary. the origin, that is Earth, is moving, and so is the destination, like Moon or any other planetary body the mission spacecraft is headed to. Hence, one reason for scheduling a launch window is to look for shortest distance to the destination. Now, efficiency, the other related reason is need for fuel efficiency. There is no refueling opportunity in space, and the more fuel the rocket carries, the heavier it becomes, which again means more fuel is required to propel it. Moving on to weather, a space mission cannot be launched if the temperature is too cold or too hot, or if the wind is blowing at a very strong speed. Rainfall, humidity, lightning, cloud, or smoke are all factors that need to be considered for a space and successful launch. Favorable weather conditions are required not just at the time of launch but also during the fueling of engines. Moving on to anti-radiation pills, the European Union has decided to supply 5.5 million anti-radiation pill to Ukraine. The pill will be distributed among the residents in the vicinity of Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Now, about radiation emergency, these are unplanned accidental events that create radionuclear hazards to human and environment. Such situations involve radiation exposures from radioactive source and require prompt intervention to mitigate the threat. Dealing with such an emergency also involves the use of anti-radiation tablets. Now, potassium iodide, that is Ki tablets, which is the anti-radiation pills, are known to provide some protection in case of radiation exposure. They contain non-radioactive iodine and can help block absorptions and subsequent concentrations of radioactive iodine in thyroid gland. After a radiation leak, radioactive iodine floats through the air and contaminates food, water, and soil, while radioactive iodine deposited during external exposure can be removed using warm water and soap. The bigger risk is inhaling it. The thyroid glands use iodine to produce hormones to regulate body's metabolism. It has no way of telling radioactive from non-radioactive iodine. Now, potassium iodine tablets rely on this to achieve thyroid blocking. Ki pills took few hours before or soon after radiation exposure ensures that non-radioactive iodine is in the medicine is absorbed quickly to make the thyroid full and reduces absorption of radioactive iodine. But Ki pills are preventive only and cannot reverse any damage done by radiation to thyroid gland. Moving on to indigenously developed fuel cell bus, the Union Minister for Science and Technology has launched India's first indigenously developed hydrogen fuel cell bus. It has been developed by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, that is CSIR, for and private firm KPIT Limited. The fuel cell utilizes hydrogen and air to generate electricity to power the bus, and only effluent from the bus is water, therefore making it possibly the most environmentally friendly mode of transportation. Now, advantages of fuel cell is that there is lower cost, zero greenhouse emission, and excellent means to eliminate on-road emissions. Now, fuel cells have higher energy density and efficiency. It ensures that operational cost in rupee per kilometer for fuel cell trucks and buses are lower than diesel powered vehicles. This can revolutionize freight transportation. Now, fuel cells vehicle also give zero greenhouse gas emissions. For comparison, a single diesel bus plying on long distance route typically emits 100 tons of carbon dioxide annually. Excellent means to eliminate on-road emissions. About 12 to 14% of the carbon dioxide emissions and particulate matter emissions come from diesel-powered heavy commercial vehicles. These are decentralized emissions and difficult to capture. Hence, hydrogen-fueled vehicles provide an excellent means to eliminate on-road emissions from this sector. That'll be it.